Let's get right into this review for How to Train Your Dragon. Alright, so the live action of How to Train Your Dragon is directed once again by Dean DeBlois, who was also at the helm for the original animation version back in 2010. It's been almost 15 years since I enjoyed that original masterpiece. Wow. This time you have Mason Thames taking on the role of Hiccup, and I was pleasantly surprised with his performance as the main lead. He really lived up to the animation version of this character and excelled throughout the live action adaptation. The rest of the ensemble played a cheery and colorful bunch of Vikings that exude the same presence and chaos as they did in the original too. So huge props to the entire cast. Seems like everyone was having a good time in the production sets. Now to get right into the main question, what did I think about the cinematic package here? I thought it was a fun time. It's been a hot minute since I viewed the original, but I felt a lot of the nostalgia in this live action. And I'll be honest, I was a bit dubious at first and didn't think the story here would translate well into the live action format. But yeah, I'm glad to be wrong. Almost all aspects of this film exceeded my expectations. The film is a very thorough recreation of this magical fantasy world and still remains to be a very balanced story that imbues all of its timeless themes and all the pivotal story beats. Not only that, but the visuals were also spot on. Most importantly, the dragons looked fantastic. I think the crew did an excellent job in blending animation and reality into their dragon designs. They didn't feel out of place next to all of the humans, so kudos to their efforts. And almost all of the production sets and visuals felt just as grand as I remembered from the original animation. And again, the casting was honestly spot on for every single character. I don't think a recreation of an animation to live action could get more one-to-one than this. And yeah, there's honestly not a lot of negatives to say about this cinematic package here. This was one of the better animation and narratives to come out back in 2010, and this live adaptation remains to be a solid rendition of a classic tale. Great for both new and old fans to enjoy this epic, family-friendly world of Vikings and dragons. My final score for How to Train Your Dragon is 9 out of 10. Now, did we really need a live adaptation? No, but this format stayed true to the original and didn't botch any of the pivotal story beats, so I'm satisfied with my viewing at the theaters. At the end of the day, this ends up being a worthy addition nonetheless. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this review. I have plenty more coming soon, so stay tuned, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I shall see you on my next upload. But until then, stay safe out there and peace.